That's Watson Assistant. It's conversational AI designed to help your customers find the answers they need faster, no matter the industry. Let's put smart to work. Visit ibm.com/Watson Assistant to learn more.
Okay, Chuck, so we have already said that he was a 5-tool player, a complete player. And I mean, you I think have an understanding of what made his play so amazing. So what made his play so amazing? I'm leaning on my baseball resource.
Well, I mean, he was built for the game. He was never lifted weights in his life, but he was sort of a perfectly chiseled specimen of a baseball player. Very, very handsome, which has nothing to do with being a good baseball player, but
doesn't hurt.
Just thought I'd throw that in.
It moves those Cracker Jacks.
It sure does. So he was just very fluid. Like, aside from his base running, like you mentioned earlier, was kind of crazy. I think one sports reporter said it looked more like he was fleeing than running. You'd have to see him run. He just, all of his limbs were kind of just swinging, and it wasn't the most graceful run, which is weird because he was a very fluid and graceful player.
Yeah.
And those 5 tools, you know, he was known most for his outfield arm, and I think he led the league in outfield assists 5 or 6 years in a row, or maybe not in a row, but 5 or 6 seasons. And he was fearless. He was sort of like Willie Mays in that he would go after these outfield hits with reckless abandon, like just run right into the wall to try and get a home run ball going over, or like I said, throwing out those players from right field to third base, which is just a very, very tough thing to do.
And this was like before padded walls, or at the very least they didn't have them in a lot of the places he played, because he would get like stitches or, you know, really mess up his shoulder or something like that. And don't forget, he's also playing through a spinal injury from that car wreck. And yet this guy's throwing like people out at third base from right field, or running for an infield grand slam. I mean, just doing crazy stuff despite these chronic injuries that he's been accumulating. And I read somewhere that he credits his mother with his arm. He was a javelin thrower. Yeah, he was a javelin thrower in high school. And that really kind of helps you develop all of the same muscles that you need to throw something like a baseball from right field to third base or home. But he still said, yeah, I threw the javelin, that definitely surely helped. But I got my arm from my mom. She can throw from second base to home plate with something on it still when it gets there. So he said he got his arm from his mom, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Nice, I love it. And you know, off the field is why he got the award named after him. He would mentor, you know, because he was one of the first Latin American stars, he would mentor anybody that came through, especially